Hello there. Have thou just got through the early game and have now a fair amount of items and want to make a storage system, but do not want to make something advanced? I've recently played the game with some friends and did just get that far. I could have made a dedicated simple sorter for each of those. That creates a problem, as we see here. This is how many sorting slices that thou would need to sort a double chest worth of unique items, meaning 54 sorting slices. But that is not really sufficient to dedicate a whole sorted slice just for something that they really have a lot of. And the game grows bigger and bigger by each update, adding to a mass of ambiguous items. So what about the system where there are multiple items in the same chest automatically? There are more advanced solutions for that problem, like the one that Cubic Meter has made, or the one that is found on the Masuma channel. But I was not that far into the game, and I do not think that thou are either if thou have come to use my solution. And I am at least not one of those who wants to dedicate a lot of time to mine for a decent amount of quartz and gold, or explore the world just to find slime or sugar boxes. So I decided to not want to create an expensive solution for my sorting problem. But I would like to try at some time to make a more advanced system. So I decided to create my own solution for that problem. This is the generation from start to present. To figuring out how to control the hoppers, to making it two block tileable, to integrating the clock, then to make sure the clock runs for just enough for just long enough to make sure all the items can get through. I have tried to make a multiple item sorting system before, but I could not figure out a way to send the items over to next slice when one slice was done, repeatedly in a one block design. This design is independent of each other. Thou can just pipe the items in to the first dropper, and the items that is not sorted will come out of this dropper, or hopper actually. This can also be built either way. Thou can have chests like this, or like this, or like this, or even use barrels. In later tests, I have figured out that my design is slightly less efficient than Tangotech's design in some areas. Mine can make some noise, and are 2 blocks deeper than his design in the main edition. But it is just as fast and item efficient in total as his design, as you see here. Here we see his design in my colorization of blocks. My design can even get smaller if thou do not need all of the inputted items to go through the whole system, to be checked for sorting right away, with some simplification. It then becomes silent. It even becomes smaller than mine and Tangotech's design, as we see. Thou will not lose any items either. It is just that the system stops before the last items manages to get through. But they will continue through when the next item comes in the bottom dropper. My design is also 2 block tileable, while his is 4 block tileable. His design consists of 2 heights of chests or storage blocks, while mine design consists of 1 height of storage blocks. But by building 2 of my design, thou will get the same as one of his, with the same amount of storage and possibilities. This is also expandable to 12 blocks in height because of the strength limit of the redstone, which is 15. Thou can expand this any size between 1 and 12, but I have not found a way to expand the system to odd numbers, so thou would have to build the system itself in even numbers, but have the storage blocks in odd numbers. Without it any functional problems like this. keep in mind that the higher the items need to travel up, the more lengthening of the signal need to get to be so the last items are able to travel the whole way up and down before the system stops. So how is my system built up? It starts with the storage blocks. Probably like this. And this addition is made for four blocks. One useful thing is to not use trap chests, because trap chests would lock and power the hopper and dropper behind it, messing up the transportation of items. It will then that will only happen if someone opens the trap chest while this is working, and that will mess up the system, and there will always be some items then idling in the system. So use something that won't power the blocks behind it. We then need to have the hoppers behind to transport the items downwards, and then a hopper underneath to transport the items further on. Then you of course need the dropper to transport items upward. The top dropper needs to point into the hopper. We then need to lock and unlock the hoppers and power the droppers. We then place full blocks at the first, the third, the fifth, and so on block with torches. And then place also blocks like this behind the second, fourth, and so on block. This way all droppers have an individual torch. We then need to relay we then need to control those torches. So we would build a staircase of slabs for redstone dust, like this. We would do that on both. This one we need to have one block longer, like this. Yes. Then place. Oh, this is wrong. Make sure it is placed like this. Like this. Like this instead. With repeaters there and redstone dust the other places. Repeater there too. We then need to detect the items that has gone into the system. We then need to block. We also need the floor to be a full block, so the redstone signal can get through. Repeater there with some blocks to relay the signal. Yes. We then need to lengthen the signal so the system works a bit longer, so all the items will get through. So this is one design to do that. It doesn't really matter the design. So as we see here, the signal the system has detected the item, and the system keeps being on even if this comparator is off. We then need to invert the signal so the clock is locked and relay to the clock. Then we need the clock. I think a good way to build the clock is to make a blob of blocks, full blocks. Then remove every other block. Then you need to make a signal go in a loop around. Make sure this is at least 5 ticks. As we see here, 3 ticks plus 1 equals 5 ticks. The same as Tengotex design actually, but with a different execution. We then need to combine these two staircases for redstone, so we can control them at the same time. I then placed a block like make this a full block, and then then have a full block there too, and then have a little dust go down from this staircase like this. The thing with this is that we now control both at the same time. As we see, the torches unlock or gets powered and unpowered at exactly the same time, and that is very important. Yes. We then need to connect the clock with this system, or with this block, and we can connect this clock to this block or just place redstone like this. Keep in mind that this redstone torch acts like this repeater. So together it would add up to be at the same time, just shifted or inverted at one side. So that is actually all. Now can place multiple of this side by side, but it is more efficient to place this after the removing of unstackable items or the sorting of mass items like dirt or cobblestone, because this system and many other systems are slower than the hopper speed. So this would be a bottleneck if there would be too many items going through it. So remove items that now would not be sorted in the system. After this, there may become the destruction and or collection of unstackable items. One other thing which is very useful is lag. These redstone torches create light level 7, and therefore will create light updates. But it cannot create light updates if there are already a brighter light in the area than itself can contribute. So place light sources in many places, just so the redstone torches has nothing to update with light. But that is all. If this video is all enough, I may actually have made more, so check off those if you want to. If not, then that is all for now.